Hello everybody! Good evening one and all! How are we all doing out there? Good evening Mark! Good evening Mr. Noob! Mr. Gloomspite Noob to be precise. Good evening Nathaniel! How are we all? Are we all happy? Are we all cool? Are we all having a good time? Having a lovely Wednesday? Good evening, A to the 40k homeboy. Good evening, Leezy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. I hope you are all having a fantastic Wednesday night. It is, of course, Warhipster's live hobby hangout. And tonight, we are painting a war dog. Specifically, a war dog Karnivore. We're probably not, and I'm gonna be honest. We're probably not going to finish it in one sitting, but that's okay. Because what we are going to do is we're going to focus on the legs. And that's the most important part. We're going to try our best to get through as much of it as possible. But I make no promises. Who knows? Maybe it'll be really quick and it'll look awesome. I doubt it, but it might. Let me just mount it on. Oh, no, hang on. I'm very well, thank you, Alex. How are you? Sick shirt, my guy. Thank you. This shirt is so old, but it's a popular one with you guys. Here it is. Here is the War Dog Carnivore's legs. We have the War Dog Carnivore's body as well, which I will stick onto it once it's fully painted, but for now, it's just going to be separate. You're painting a war dog and I'm painting an Eldar cat lady. Excellent. Good evening, Lincoln Park 988. How are you? So, yeah. House Korvax. That's what I've decided upon. This is what we've got. And like I said, we're going to try and get the legs actually finished today. So without further ado, we might as well just jump straight in and start doing it. Really, I'm going to use Iron Warriors as my first. Yvraine, yes, Yvraine. She does have a cat. Something familiar or whatever. So I'm just going to start here. I'm just going to grab a pile of Iron Warriors, because I'm going to get this all over all of the mechanical details. As always, do drop me any questions, and let's chat about all things Warhammer hobby, and all things Chaos Knights maybe. And yeah, I hope you guys are feeling good out there. I just need a quick picture reference. Yes. Yes. You need a tank brush. No, not quite, not at this point. Maybe a bit later on, but for now, a medium layer brush will suffice, because we're just going to be smashing Iron Warriors all over all of the mechanical details. I could use an Army Painter monster brush, but I think I would lack the precision that I like on something that is this fiddly. Oh, I just went for it there. Whoops. Okay. Talking about precision. No, in fact, this is supposed to be silver. Okay. There is, of course, an argument to be made that spraying this with lead belcher spray would be ideal, but I ummed and ahed about it for ages, about how to do these, and I just thought, do you know what, like, that's not how I like to paint. Plus, I always find with lead belcher spray, you have to do at least 2 coats of it. Or start from black. And I don't have any black spray, so I figured I would just do what you guys are used to. Regardless of the amount of metallics present, we still spray it with grey cere. And actually doing this does sometimes end up actually going quicker, believe it or not. Because if you start from a silver base, you're either gonna do a full silver coat over the top just to strengthen it out, or you're gonna have to what am I trying to say here? Or you're gonna have to or you're gonna start out with your shade straight away. And regardless of what happens there, you are going to be drying for a long time, especially if you jump in with the shade straight away. So I find actually, if you're going to paint something like this size quite efficiently, even doing this, it means that once I get to the end of the second leg, the first leg is pretty much ready for me to do the next stage. And then so on and so forth. It's only when I start coming to picking out individual details that it kind of slows down a little bit, but that's what would happen anyway. I'm also just a weird dude, that's why I prime stuff weird. Also, I really, really like Iron Warriors. I wish they made Iron Warriors in a spray. It is now time to sit it down. Good evening, Dave. Good evening, Underdog Painting. Bruno Barofaldi, I love you from Italy. I love you too. My dog just decided my chest makes for a good bed. I'm sure to a dog that your chest makes an excellent bed, Nave. I see you prefer white primer over black one in your painting tutorials. Why so? Because I've probably actually accidentally answered this question by doing this. Contrast paint doesn't work over black. So if you prime it with black, you ain't going to use too many contrast paints. And I am not in the business of priming something black to then fill in little details with grey cere that I want to do. Because like, I do the whole thing with contrast paint. So actually it would be detrimental to prime stuff in black. We got one leg down, baby. Marvellous. I shall catch up with the chat in just a moment. I shall just exhaust this pool of Iron Warriors. See how far this takes me. And then I shall catch up with you all. Might as well get this all over the chains whilst we're here. Do the whole of that cross piece actually. See, now if I was live streaming the 24-hour Warhound Titan, I would suspect at this point we would just be about to put the final base coat or brush on one foot. Because I believe a Warhound foot is about the same size as this base. But last time I mentioned it, there was a lot of, ooh, that sounds fun, on Sunday. And that is something that I'm thinking of doing, because we are rapidly approaching 20,000 subscribers. So if you're not already, do make sure you're subscribed to this channel for more Warhipster content. There we go. Right, we've run out of Iron Warriors now. So we're going to have to pop that down just for the moment, and I will... Kataro! My man! I turn around. Just going to stay here because Patreon is acting weird. Keep up the good work as always. I love what you do. You really make my day. Kataro, you are so very, very, very kind of you. Thank you. That is amazing. Hello. Bruno says you are my idol. Oh, that's very kind of you. All hail George the Legend. George the Legend indeed. George the Legend might be getting a run out at doubles in a couple of weeks' time. I haven't decided yet. It's either these or the Custodes. I would be building some Custodes dreadnoughts very shortly. Good evening, Jim Hamilton. I still haven't painted my first AT Warlord Titan, and now I'm feeling inclined to buy a second one. I want to do Titanicus Warlord Titan, but I also want to do a proper Warlord Titan. And I want to do it for all of you. I want to do a live stream of a Warlord Titan, a proper one, and because I think that would be crazy. Especially if we were to do it with a head. Sorry about that. I believe I dropped out just for a moment. Do apologise. Question for the crowd: if you were to be lore friendly to the heraldry, would Black Templar Blade Guard's shoulder trim be red? I guess it would, because the Sword Brethren are red. I think that's supposed to be like the veterans. I really don't know how you get your coat so clean right from the tub. Mine always have obvious brushstrokes on the model. Is that with contrast paint? I've got a video on that. Let me know, Retro Sicot. Sorry, I've just got that completely wrong. Mikey's Wargaming. Hello there. Hello there. Somebody might have just watched Obi-Wan Kenobi. Any chance of getting more of this cool Sylvaneth? For which colours would you go if you wanted to go for green instead of red? Can't decide on the tone for mine even after I did some Dryads to test. So I was thinking of doing a Sylvaneth tutorial on this guy, on a Tree Lord. That might help, so I might do that. And I would definitely do the new Spite Rider, the new Bug Riders, for sure. And I will be doing a Lariel once I find the time to build her and paint her. If I was to recommend a green to use, I would probably stick to one of either Creed Camo or Militarum Green, because I think they're more earthy camos, greens, rather than Dark Angel's Green or Warp Lightning or Orc Flesh. They're quite jewelly in tone. These two, however, will look way more green than green. So I would try using these guys because they've got that kind of more natural green look. Alternatively, you could thin down something like maybe Plague Bearer Flesh, although it wouldn't thin down Plague Bearer Flesh too much. It's quite pale. But yeah, those two I think are the best for kind of foliage and stuff. Often with contrast, but it's also with Wraithbone to undercoat for bone armor. The contrast over it ends up showing streaks from the Wraithbone below, trying to thin down, but it's very whip. Wraithbone can be a little bit temperamental, I find sometimes. It depends on the pot that you get. I would always recommend just kind of like thin it down just that tiny little bit more than you normally would, and just be really patient with layering it back up. I prime all of my stuff with a can, and then I'm just try to be really, really careful, which I know doesn't help. But the alternative to Wraithbone is to use something like, I don't know, Ushabti Bone, although that's a little colder, which generally goes on a little bit nicer than Wraithbone does sometimes. The other thing as well is you could always find a alternative hobby provider, because the Wraithbone paint that Games Workshop produces is fine, but it just, for me, it always seems to be a little bit too thin from So it doesn't quite cover as well, so you end up having to do like 2 or 3 coats. I'm just going to start getting this Iron Warriors all over the rest of this leg, if you guys don't mind. Do. Get on there, Iron Warriors. I started filming something today, which I know a lot of the Discord guys have been asking for. I started filming a series of videos that are just like specifically how to do one thing. So the thing I've started filming today is how to paint gold, or just at least my favourite recipe for gold. I've been using some Stormcast miniatures to do that on, which has been fun. Out of that, I'm also got planned to do how to do fur and how to do blue cloaks. As well. So it just gives you like a single point of reference for a particular recipe. So like say you just want to look up what my gold recipe is, rather than going and find one of my gold miniatures, you can just look up, oh, Warhipsters, how to paint Warhipsters gold. And I filmed them in real time as well. That's my plan with them. So they're going to be like quite long, but what I might do is I might do it like cut the video so it's like, here's the recipe right at the beginning in like rapid form, so like you see like a preview of like a single minute, and then you get the full sort of, as it stands it takes me roughly about sort of 5 to 10 minutes to do each layer in that video. So I've got this, so it might be that it's like, what is it going to be, 1 2 3 4, possibly 5 clips, so what, 50 minutes long? So they might be like an hour long video, but like it starts with like a super quick reference guide, as it were, right at the beginning. That's the plan. Go. Right, one thing I haven't done that I'm just going to quickly do is use this Iron Warriors on all these cables. Because in just a minute we're going to layer those up. Very nice. And that's all the silver. No, we've still got a couple more cables. Which I've got to do. Just over here. Get that on there. Job's a good one. Could you bookmark the sections? Yeah, I suspect I probably could. Started Star Wars Legion now, so that will be in Tales if that's okay. Of course that's okay. I look forward to seeing it. You're applying your master work to some Star Wars Legion. That's very exciting. Wraithbone is really thin for a base paint. Yeah, absolutely it is. Grey Seer is as well. It's just it works better than Wraithbone for some reason. I'm not sure why. We'll try that. Maybe test out some other off-whites. Got a few old second ed ones. Thanks for the advice. You are welcome, buddy. Honestly, like as long as you get like... The purpose of using Wraithbone is because you want it to be bright but also warm. So like Flayed One Flesh would work, although that's a layer. Wraithbone would work. Morghast Bone would work, but it would be like super warm. Like Morghast Bone. Because Morghast Bone is like... It's like the tone down from Wraithbone. I'll show you on the camera. You see. So like Morghast Bone would work. Morghast Bone is a lovely paint to work with. Like, it's absolutely gorgeous. Pallid Witchflesh is also a fun one to mess with. Yeah, I like using Pallid. I found Vallejo Black covers much better than Citadel. Maybe they have a Wraithbone equivalent. Yeah, I think they do. It's called like Desert Sand or something like that. Saw the Echoes of Doom box in your 24-hour stream and bought a complete 2,000 point army. Echoes of Doom +2 start collecting boxes. Yeah, I mean that'll do it. couple more Kurnoth Hunters and your job's a good one. Yeah, I could bookmark the sections, Dave. That's what we like to do. We like to give ideas out on the stream. It's fun. Oh. Missed a tiny little bit. Right under here. I'm glad I caught that right away. Okay. So, with all of that Iron Warriors applied, it is going to be now time to add a little bit of variation in there. But first, I'm going to look at a pictorial reference of some knights. Open image, new tab. Let me get nice and close. Okay. Okay, so not too much difference. Kind of like stabilizers and things like that. Okay. So I really, really like Castellax Bronze for this kind of thing. Castellax Bronze is a gorgeous colour. Look at that colour. Oh, it's beautiful. So we're going to grab that Castellax Bronze. And we're going to pop it. Bit more water. I've got too much water in it. A little bit more. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Right, so stuff like these stabilizers is going to have some Castellax Bronze over the top. Boom. We'll do it over. We'll do it over this one as well. And we'll do it over this one as well. Anywhere else? No. I think that'll suffice on the war dog. We do have to actually add some brightening before we add a full-on shade. Castellax bronze is just such a nice colour. It's one of those former Forge World paints as well, so you either got like a really good... I always found with those former Forge World paints that you either got something that was really awesome or it was just like one of the worst paints you've ever used. And that doesn't have a thing, so we've just got that one on that side. Anything else that wants to be Castellax bronze? I could do those feet like this as well. Or maybe just like this little section here. That might work. Just adds a little summon. Like that. Thank you, Castellax bronze. Right, we're 2 colours in now. Oh, according to this picture, these sections here are in fact an armour panel. Whoops. See, this is the big question, is does it have to be? Shoo! Rez is here. Hello, Rez. Haven't seen you for a while. Have you ever tried Vallejo metal colour paints? You would love them. I have one Vallejo metal colour paint. It is this one. And it's an airbrush one. I didn't know. When I looked it up, this was the thing that came up. This is really nice paint. Hello there from France. My first time. The vibes and paint are cool. Thank you, Rudy. Welcome. Still in Greece. Ah. Are you having fun in Greece? Adeptus Latrina is here. Hello, Adeptus Latrina. I'm just going to quickly look at this picture of House Korvax. Okay, they've got red on the knee pads and black at the bottom. Gold trim everywhere else. This bit's black. Okay. So here's my plan, guys. do like a super dark black is to do Mechanicus standard grey on the panel, then do Black Templar over the top of it. So it'll be fine. So I might just leave it as silver for the moment. I think it looks good too, Adeptus Latrina. So the question is, do I do all of the... Yes, I do. But I have missed some bits with the Castellax. So I'm just going to get that on there. And these smooth cables, I've got an idea. So I'm going to do these in Castellax bronze as well. We are flying through this. Okay. So, next thing to do is to take some maybe Flesh Tearers. Is it Flesh Tearers red? Is that the colour? No. It's not. It's Blood Angels red. That is the wrong place for that paint, Josh. Blood Angels red. Much better idea. So we're going to take Blood Angels red, and we are going to shade it down. That's the plan. So we're going to take Blood Angels red here, and we're just on the knees going to add Blood Angels red. Well, this one's going to be tricky. Here we go. I have tried them. I need to get a hold of the rest of them. Adeptus Latrina. Nice bronze. Which one is it, please? It is Castellax bronze. The nicest bronze in the entire range. It's simply gorgeous. Look at that colour. Oh, love it. Hello, Ryan. Okay, so there we go. So this is just, like I said, I'm just testing this at the moment. And the reason why I'm going to... So normally I would do Basilicanum Grey, right? All over the black details, and then do the Black Templar, and that probably will still work, but on a much bigger night it might be annoying, but then I don't see how it could be. So rather than use Mechanicus, I will just use Basilicanum. That's a bright silver for some chaos. Where's our corruption? It's coming! It's coming! It's just Iron Warriors at the moment. Don't worry. Okay, so we're not gonna do Mechanicus. We're just gonna do Basilicanum. It means it will take a little longer to dry, but that's okay. So Basilicanum Grey. Here we go. This does not have to be perfect, because Black Templar is going to go over the top of it. So that's all right. There is method to the madness. that's way too much. That might take a little while to dry. That's all right. Because whilst we're waiting for that to dry, we can do the other side. How did you decide for that house? Because of the colour scheme, or had the rules as impact as well, or maybe the fluff background? Well, I'll tell you how I decided upon that. This is the shoulder pad of my loyalist knight household. House Raven. House Korvax are what happens when Be'lakor takes you and turns you into Chaos Worshippers. So, doing House Korvax felt like the only real choice for me, because it's a brand new house that is a consequence of Be'lakor laying waste to the Keep in Violet, which was House Raven's home, and then taking it with him, Colossus, into the warp and turning it into Be'lakor's Funtime Palace, Funhouse. So it only seems right that I do House Korvax. Also, Be'lakor is the model that corrupted me finally into doing a Chaos Army. So it seems only right again that the house that I choose is the one of his doing. In just a minute, we're going to add some delicious trim. I guess whilst we're waiting for that, we can add some skeleton horde to those skulls. It also helps as well that House Korvax's rules are pretty good. They're probably one of the best options in the book. Just like House Raven are probably one of the best options in the Chaos Knights book. Order of Companions and all that. Or at least it was. And they're still pretty good, right? But like, they're not quite as potent as they were before. Order of Companions is a lot worse in a way. Well, it's not. It's pretty good, but okay. What gold to use? I always have my reasons, Synthus. Chaos! Let's just go with Retributor Armor. Because it's my favourite. Retributor Armor is a paint that I run out of more than anything else, I think. Just deeply unoriginal with my golds, clearly. So my plan is that the shade basically hits all the black, not all the black, sorry, all the red and all the metals in one fell swoop. Which will cut down massively on time. Because my plan is to use a couple of shades to add like some rust, and some darker metals, and create lots of lovely kind of variation and whatnot in the model. Okay. Is it sensible to do that? Probably not. It's nearly dry though. Okay. Let's just do this bit. It's only because I know I'm going to be extremely messy with the black, so I'll just have to move dead quick. Missed a bit. Okay. Good evening, Chewy. Skullcrusher Brass does have an excellent gold look to it, and it is my intention to use it as the relayer for all these gold details. Which house are you painting this as? This is House Korvax. Where are you, Black Templar? You are where you should be, right there. I've burned through 3 pots of Caliban green and 3 bottles of Angel green, so I'd say that's my most used colour. Fair enough, fair enough. Right, Black Templar, here we go. So the Black Templar goes over the top of the Basilicanum Grey, like so. Let's just do this leg. Try and avoid getting it on the gold that I've just done. This is why I stopped doing gold, because I knew that was going to happen. Like so. But what we also do is take a slightly smaller brush, such as this small layer brush, and we use this Black Templar over the top of some of the metallic bits as well to create a little bit more variation in the model. So in those kind of swivel joints, just in there and in there. Sorry about that, I think it dropped out once again. I'm also painting Black Templar over the top of the ribbed cables. So we get that metallic finish on them. Like so. Marvellous. Do I want to put Black Templar over the top of those ankle plates? I kind of do. I'm just going to do it. Should be fine. As long as it still looks black, it's okay. We'll be reet. There we go. Okay, now, buongiorno to you, Ben. Where's the aggressive dry brush? It's coming. So now we should be able to do the gold on the leg. Now that that black is mostly dry. I have to add a little bit more water to this in just a second. looking pretty good. Oh, we just got to do that inside bit of trim. It's going to be annoying. Just have to trust the brush. 5 out of 10. Hello, Adam. I've actually missed a bit of black just there. Don't know if you guys can see that as clearly as I can. There we go. There we go. I've missed a tiny bit of black. Hello, David Stonehay. Sometimes you just got to trust the brush. Very quotable. I could put that on a t-shirt. I was talking with Rez actually about things that I could put on a t-shirt as my slogans. So one of them is meat and potatoes. The other one is and next up. And so with that done, what we're now going to do, because I say the same things in every video all of the time, and now I could put sometimes you just got to trust the brush on. Oh, I could also put it's a bit strong on there. a series of like really bad inspirational quotes from Warhipster. Maybe I'll get a cat, take pictures of it, and just have. It could be. Some might say, it's a bit strong, just on the t-shirt or on the picture. Big broad brushstrokes. Yep, that's another one. Mr. Gwatkin is here. Hello, Mr. Gwatkin. Oh. Big broad brushstrokes. Yeah. Warhipster battle ready. That's another one. Because I always get to that halfway point, and I always look back on it and I go, is it actually? So like at this point, right? Once the shade goes on, that'll be Warhipster battle ready, right? For the legs. Ah. It's a bit strong. Some might say that's a bit strong. I'm not sure why that's been held for review, but yeah, those black panels are black. That's what Basilicanum Grey plus Black Templar does for you. Gives you that superb dark black. Okay, so now I need to figure out what my shade is going to be. Now I think for the... Having just done... I'll go and get him in a minute, but having just done Magnus the Red, the shade I used on his gold is perfect for this because it's thinned down wildwood. And I want to incorporate that onto the silver. But the other thing to do on the silver is obviously we want to get it nice and dark. So we want to get a little grime in there. We want to get a little bit of such and such in there, but we don't want to like completely destroy the colour. So Nuln Oil is a good choice, obviously, but Nuln Oil Gloss is another choice, but I'm less keen on that. Basilicanum Grey might be too for it, so maybe thinned down Black Templar. Because the Wildwood shade is going to go over the red as well. Even though that red, I mean, that red looks super bright on screen, but it's a lot darker in real life. What was going on with this? Oh. I know why it looks like that. Because my picture colouring was set to HDR effect. So that's why I was looking at it like, why is it so bright on the screen? I'm looking at it with my eyes. I asked myself how many different gold recipes you have already shown off. Have to be at least 10 plus. Oh yeah, no, there's tons of gold recipes out there. But like, it's because of the shade that they go for on the box art. Maybe when we go to doubles, we should pair up, Josh. I don't think we can, because we can't have the same data sheets. All the Chaos Knights together and our schemes are pretty similar. No, yeah, no, for sure. If you took, well, if you take all carnivores, I can't then take this carnivore. Will you be taking a stab at some Chaos Marines when their codex drops? I certainly will be. I'll go all carnivores, you go all stalkers. All carnivores and a rampager, and an abominant and all stalkers. Or should I just go all brigands? Fire Slayer could be a good call as well. Fire Slayer flesh is an excellent colour for adding like sort of rust effects on silver. You should do a series of videos just on different recipes of X colour. Yeah. So what I started today was a video on how I paint my favourite gold using this guy. So this is just going to be this is my favourite gold recipe. If you want to just do a gold, do this one. He needs his highlights, but that's what I started today, and I've been, doing the entire of Severin Steelheart's champions. But this is what I was talking about earlier on the stream of I was going to do. So this is going to be how I paint my favourite gold. This will be how I do blue capes, and this guy here will be how to do fur, and there'll be some others coming along the pipe, because I don't want this to be a warm gold. I want this to be quite a rugged gold, but it still have some brightness in there. So that's why we're going for the wildwood shade on there. We'll get there in just a moment. I think thinned down Black Templar for the all the silver, but in order to do that, I think the right thing to do is to probably introduce just a little bit more brightness. Maybe not at this stage though. So at the next stage. Yes. Okay. So it's not going to be one shade over all of it. Hello, we're here to ruin your day with knights. 2,000 points of knights to be precise. Right, I'm going to take 1, 2, 3 of Black Templar. Am I using the medium layer brush? Yes, I am. And then we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're getting basically a 2 to 1. I'm just going to mix all that together. Right, this is going to go all over all of the silver. Hello, D. Frank. Hello to you in Canada. Right, I'm going to put this over the top of the Castellax bronze as well. Where have I not done? Ah, just there. I forgot which leg I was shading then. God, how good does that look? Okay. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whew. Actually, it doesn't matter if I shade this bit because that's the connector for where the knight actually sits. I should start in a logical place, but I'm just going to start up here. Right, is that everywhere? Looks it. Oh, Tolrix, you absolute legend. Shading the ball joint that we will never see again. Yeah, that's how it works. I've missed a little bit of it, actually. Oh, no, I haven't. I got it. Tolrix, I will get Janisha Kroll. I promise you. I shall pick her up. I was saying that I wanted to get her the other day. Oh, you started streaming 69 minutes ago. Ooh! Are you going to dip into Horus Heresy at all? Yes, D. Frank. Whilst we're waiting for that to dry, permit me just a few moments to just go and grab something that I will show you what is going to come very soon for the Horus Heresy lineup that we have on the channel. So, in the spirit of Tolrix's generous donation, Janisha Kroll is a character from the Horus Heresy. So we will be getting Janisha Kroll, for sure, because I need a Knight Centaur. But coming up on Warhipsters, let's do... Should we do face camera for this? You can see it a little bit better that way. Okay, so coming up for our Heresy lineup, before the box arrives, because I haven't received the box, I am a mortal human after all, my plan is to do all 18 legions out of that box. So to use 20 of the Mark 6s, to do 18 legion tutorials. So all of the traitors, all of the loyalists. We've done Blood Angels. I mean, we've done most of them before anyway, but we're demonstrating on the Mark 6 for all the Age of Darkness fans out there who might want to see something a little bit different. Because everything's a little bit darker. Something like the Space Wolves, for example, they're in a dark grey rather than a powder blue. So we're going to be doing that. We've also, in the spirit of Horus Heresy, we've got 2 videos coming next week. They are both Primarchs. So the first one is the Khan. There he is. Jagatai Khan in all of his glory. It's a little hard to demonstrate from this angle. There he is. There's Jagatai Khan. This video is coming next week. Or maybe this week, I haven't decided yet. So there's one. The next one, in Heresy Week, to come out. Some of you have probably already seen these. Is we've got another Heresy video. Another Primarch, no less. We have the Master of the Thousand Suns himself. We have Magnus the Red. There he is. Nice focus shift from the camera there. That is the power of Sony A6300's face recognition software. So there he is. It always catches up eventually. And then it should. So I'll show you in the overhead camera. The problem with the overhead camera is that they generally tend to fall apart. As Magnus is already doing. Because obviously I don't often build in sub-assemblies, but this guy, well, both of them I did do in a sub, like so the main thingy. So here we go. So there's Magnus in all his glory. And here is the Khan. So we've got both of these coming in aid of Horus Heresy. He's got some dust on him already just from standing still for a little bit. There we go. That is 5 Primarchs that we have on the channel. Or we will have on the channel. Magnus, the Khan, Horus himself, Sanguinius, and the Lion. And I want to do the other 13. If you'd like to see me do the other 13, buy them for me and send them to me. Because they're expensive. There we go. I think that's nearly all dry. It's very close to being dry. So what I did on Magnus's armour, which is why I wanted to get into... Do you know when you will paint the Custodes tank and Dreadnought? Yes, I do know. It will be soon. It depends on whether or not I take Chaos Knights or Custodies to doubles at the end of this month. If I take Custodies to doubles at the end of this month, I will be painting the tank and the Dreadnoughts for that. If I take the Knights, it'll be July probably when I do them. I would like to do both the Guillimans, and I would like to do them both in 1 week. I would like to do Rebute Guilliman and Rebute Guilliman. Okay. This is probably sufficiently dry enough to do some of the next shade. So that is to take some Wildwood. There you are. And some contrast medium. Where's my brush gone? Is that it? Yes. So for this, we are going to take 1 and a 2 and 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. To make a superbly thin Wildwood. And this is going to go over the top of the red and the gold. Actually just do with adding a tiny little bit more Wildwood in there. Got a bit of a dark blob there, don't want that. Excellent. Oh yeah, so it is. Thank you. My headband fell out. Oh. First time I've seen, does these streams form the material for the eventual how-to VODs? Yeah, often they do, yeah. That's looking appropriately shaded now. I just need to grab a little bit more wildwood and just stick it in there. Like that. I'll do the same thing just there as well. Excellent. Right. These are now at what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. Yes, Chew. I reckon a green would work for Horus Heresy Dark Angels. If you did Horus Heresy followed by black, if you did Dark Angels green followed by Black Templar, you would get a really nice effect. Yeah. Right, so my cool plan was to take some Blood Angels Red and over the top of those Castellax bronze cables, the smooth ones, paste it over the top. Like that. So we get a little bit more red in there in the scheme. Yes, Lunar Wolves. We could do Lunar Wolves. Yeah. I'll have 2 spare, you know. So, like, I could do Lunar Wolves. That could be fun. Okay. So the process now involves kind of brightening these back up. Just a smidge. So for that, maybe we return to Iron Warriors to make them look super grim. Let's try it. Let's see what it looks like. Make them look imposing and dark. So we take some Iron Warriors and just on the large parts we're just going to relayer it. So for example on this ball joint just here, this brush is too big for this. We'll use this small layer brush for this. So using Iron Warriors again. Over top of areas such as this ball joint. Just add that wee bit of shine back in before we do a highlight, which I think in this instance might just end up being a dry brush. have to be a perfect relayer either. Just like this. We'll do it all over the ball joint. Just like that, nice and simple. There we go. I think that's almost all the silver. There we go. Oh. Oh my. Hello, Volca Era. I'm quite happy with that. Welcome back, Adam. Might start building my abominant as it is now 20 past 10 and I cannot be bothered to work anymore. You should cease to work and you should start building your abominant. I built this earlier today as well. There's just going to be a lot of videos coming to the channel that are like gigantic robots. Cheeky little Castellan? Storm Surge. I say cheeky little Storm Surge. There is nothing cheeky nor little about a Storm Surge. Hello mate, thank you for your guide to painting Castellan Crow. I've got good results from it. I've just started to collect GK and I want to do a nice job of my first model. Oh, that's awesome, Small Courage. You're very welcome. Reza was very happy with his Castellan Crow, as was I. I was very happy with it. I thought it came out really nicely. So I might do a sneaky little Rune Lord Brass next on those bronze areas. Do this as like a proper highlight type thing. Well, no, a relay around a highlight. And do a little bit more Rune Lord Brass. How big is your Custodes army right now? Did you finish your Land Raider? No, the Land Raider is waiting to be painted. As it stands, everything that's finished on the Custodes is all the heroes are done, excluding Janisha Kroll. I've got 8 more Custodian Guards to paint, 10 more Sisters to paint, and then 3 Virtus Praetors, 4 more Alarus Custodians. And then it's on to the Forge World stuff. But in the grand scheme of things, there's actually not tons left to do on them. It's just they take a little while. As we all know, they are custodies. I've got a note on my phone that keeps me up to date with everything that I've got left to do on it. So there's the tank, there's the 3 dreadnoughts. I think in total it was 55 models. And I've done... I think about 20 of them. They're one of those armies that I kind of... the Custodies. That I really enjoy painting them, and I like to just kind of sit and do them. And it's so rare that I get much of an opportunity to just film stuff that isn't... Sorry, just to paint stuff that is just for me. There we go, that's all of the Rune Lord brass supplied. Right, we just got one more relayer of metallics left to do, and that is going to be some gold crusher brass, as was mentioned previously in the stream. Right, this bit is going to be tricky. So what we're going to do is relayer the gold. Like that. It's looking pretty good. I'll see if I can finish it in the next half hour. Just extend the stream by a little bit longer than we normally do. Because it would be cool to finish off a set of Knight legs, or Chaos Knight War Dog legs, in a single stream, wouldn't it? Pretty pleased with these. Thank you so much for hanging out, A to the 40k homeboy. Right, the thing to do now is to take some Stormhost silver. Where is my... Oh. It's there. And to use this Stormhost silver as our very gentle dry brush, on our silver. Has anyone here ever listened to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy radio dramas? Because this song that is currently on is giving me serious... Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy vibes. Grab a teeny little bit more Stormhost silver. This is the Chaos version of the Armigers, however they're called, right? Yes, that's right. You could use these metallic recipes on your Loyalist Knights. If you wanted to. Right, this is where it's going to get confusing. What we're going to do is going to highlight the trim using a roughly 1, 2, 1, 2-part Stormhost Silver to 1-part Skullcrusher Brass mix. That could do with a tiny little bit more Skullcrusher Brass in it. You'd have the Inquisition at your door. Yes, I mean you would, but that's a risk everyone has to be willing to take, right? Naked HD fun, honestly. Good evening, Daniel Williamson. Trying to grab what vehicle highlight ideas for gold I can here. Got a lovely second ed Predator coming from eBay. Love my older version of those from the 90s. Oh, that's awesome. This gold, I really like this. Like I said, I used this on... used a slightly different variant of this on Magnus. I used Retributor armor as the second part of this mix. Which is a classic of mine. Nearly got all that gold. Okay. If I'm being honest, I see it as a sign of success if I'm getting the bots. So as example, I'm trying to highlight the when highlighting something that's not per se an edge to. So as example, I'm trying to highlight the armor panel of a Black Legion if possible. What brush would you recommend? Mine don't seem to hold a decent tip. It's hard to get thin and crisp lines. I think Artis Opus does a fantastic job of having brushes that hold their structure. The other one that, if you don't want to buy an Artis Opus brush, that is very good, is the Wargamer Insane Detail Brush. This one. It's tiny and it holds its stiffness, because part of it is, yeah, holding the tip, but also having the spring in the bristles, as you can see there. The other thing as well is keep your brush dry. And what I mean by that is when you wash it off, use a bit of tissue paper to just make sure you get most of the moisture out of it, and just leave it just like a couple of seconds so that it has a chance to kind of form a little bit more rigidity after having come out of the water. Good night, Mikey's Wargaming, and good night, Philip. Thank you very much for being here. That's very kind of you. Always lovely to see both of you. Alright, the question is what highlight is going to go on these black? The one I use from Artis Opus, and this one is, I've got a new one actually over here, which I haven't broken out yet. Come here. The one I use the most is the Series M size 00. So there it is. So this one here is a well used one, and this one's a brand new one. So hang on. I've got 3. Okay, so 3 various different stages of Series M. So this one was the first one I ever got. That one lasted a year until it got to that point where it had lost quite a few bristles. This one has lasted for 9 months and is still in pretty good nick, and this one is in perfect condition because I haven't used it yet. This one here is a Series 0, is a size 0, so it's a little bit thicker, but it still has an excellent point on it. So that one can be better if you're looking for something bigger, because you can see where the brush is going a little bit more. The point is the same, as you can see. Yeah. Series M size 00 is the one I used the most. Do you feel that buying those brushes have made the painting more fun? I just want to know if it's worth getting, although I'm not extremely experienced with brushing. Honestly, I think, like, I think it's worth getting, just like, I don't know about getting a whole set, because those can be very expensive, but buying one that you know you're going to do a lot of highlighting with has made it a lot easier for me. That said, it's made it easier because the brushes are higher quality and therefore it holds its shape for a little bit longer. So I mean, a cheap one version of this, you can pick them up from Amazon for not an Artis Opus brush, but you can pick up a cheap fine detail brush for very little. That might be a better way of going, because I did loads of stuff with the Army Painter ones before I bought an Artis Opus one, because I thought I liked the idea of highlighting, and then I bought an Artis Opus one to see if there was much of a difference. And like I said, it's that spring back in the brushes, in the bristles, because the insane detail is really, really, really small. It's really, really fine. So if I compare, let's get the new one. So if you see in terms of the length of it, the Artis Opus size 00 is longer. Just trying to line it up. There you go. It's longer, so it makes it a little bit easier to see, and the bristles just hold in the ferrule a lot longer. So I don't know. Practicing and learning the technique using one of these, yeah, absolutely. Or even just a normal detail one that they do is a good idea. This had a cap. That's it. Having the paint be a little bit thinner definitely helps with line highlighting. The trick is to clean your brushes properly with brush stroke. I do agree with that, Dave. I 100% agree with that. I have those army painted brushes. I regularly use the long brush one. I haven't tried using the tiny ones since I thought they were more for freehanding stuff like that. Honestly, for doing like line highlights, they're pretty dope. Okay, here is the big question. What grey highlight am I going to do on the black arm? I think I'm going to use Storm Vermin Fur. Because that's different. This is a very old pop, Storm Vermin Fur. Some of it has dried in the lid. One moment, gang. Something stiffer than that. Get out of my paint pot. Ugh, there we go. Gotcha. Another visit from the bot. Yes, let's report it. Got it. Thank you, Dr. Mirage. There we go. There's all the Storm Vermin Fur. Right. Black highlights with Storm Vermin Fur. So now I'm going to use my Artist Opus size 00. Good evening, Christian Fowles Smith. Whew, that was a lot. Probably finish off a leg at a time, right? There we go. I'm very good, thank you, Christian. Hey, hope you're well. I'd love to see more custom paint schemes from you. Okay, I'll see what I can do, Jot. Da Chu. However I say your name. I'm sorry. I'll see if I can get some more on the go for you. I guess the only thing left to do on these is to maybe take a little bit of maybe administratum, and just use it on the rivets. Should we do that? I'll just go straight from the pot here because it's just adding little dots. There we go. What else do they need? What else do we think that pair of legs needs? Let's have a look at what they've done. Nothing else. It's looking pretty good, to be honest. So that's what it'll look like when it's all finished. But otherwise, why have we got Christmas music on? What is this all about? Shut up. Okay. I actually think I know there's one little thing left to do. And that is to just take some Black Templar and just in some of these deep recesses just add a little bit of Black Templar. So for example, just here on the front here, just in there, just to really bring that down. Just that little bit. Like that. Let's check around to see if there's anywhere else that could do with a little bit of black lining, maybe just there. Do the same thing on the other side. Fair's fair, after all. There we go. So that, my friends, is one set of legs, set of war dog legs, painted in 2 hours and a half. Now imagine if we were live for 24 hours. That would be what? 2.5, 5, probably 3 hours and a bit. So that'd be 8 hours. And there's just this section to do as well. So what I might do, in fact, just before we go, we might as well highlight that skull. And I'm going to do it with some Screaming Skull. No worries, Tom and Paul. I'm just going to go straight from the pot again because I'm uncouth. Just going to add a couple of tiny little highlights here. So I've got a little blob of black on the top there, which I don't want to have, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight around it. Like that, to make it look like I intended to do it. All along. There we go. There we are. We have officially painted the legs of our first House Korvax Knight War Dog. I'm pretty pleased with that. Like I said, that then goes there, and then I will glue it in place because there's no way it just doesn't want to stay. Maybe something like that. So what I think we'll do is we will leave it there, but I'll maybe save this for next time I stream, so that you guys get to see the whole process. Or I'll do this and then I'll film a whole one, so then there's a video for all time, just one single War Dogs video. Maybe I'll do that. Finish that guy off. Or, I don't know. I kind of want to finish it. I can't finish it now, because otherwise I'll be streaming till like 3 o'clock in the morning. Which I know wouldn't be a problem. But I can easily see a scenario where I'm still going at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I'm so close! Let me look at the... They're just not that complicated, you know? And House Korvax has got this kind of there's like a kind of faded out Achillean greeny type area over the top of the main carapace. That's quite cool. Looking at it real close, I mean it's black, but No, we'll just leave it as black. Lots of plans. Do. What have they done on the chainsaw? Yeah. There's a little bit of battle damage and tough stuff that they've done on there, but I can't really do that at the moment because I need to get the rest of it on there. Anyway, yes, I think we will. I think we'll leave it there for now, and I will see you all next time. I'll definitely be streaming next Wednesday. Might be streaming on Sunday. And I might even chuck a stream out on Friday. Who knows? Who knows at this point? Well, thank you so much for hanging out, and thank you so much, Tolrix, and thank you so much, Kataro, for your wonderful, wonderful super chats. It was very, very kind of you. It just blows my mind that you guys support me in this way. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. I will see you all next time. Same Warhipster time, same Warhipster channel. Happy Wargaming one and all. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all very soon. Keep an eye out for those painting tutorials this week. There's 2 are coming, and oh boy are they good ones. So I'll see you very soon, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Happy Wargaming.